Dozens of new games hit shelves every year, and it's hard to keep up with every release. Sometimes a great game comes along and there's simply no time to play it. This is the fate of quite a few first-person single-player games that deserve more attention than they've received. If you're looking for unique first-person games to play on your own, this list has got you covered. What Remains of Edith Finch? There are quite a few games disparagingly labelled walking simulators due to the lack of action present. What Remains of Edith Finch proves that walking simulators don't have to be boring, and they can present some of the best examples of video game storytelling. What Remains of Edith Finch tells the tale of the titular Edith Finch who visits her ancestral home and uncovers the terrible events that led to their deaths. It's a game that packs an emotional punch, and there's a lot of tragedy to process. For a unique gaming experience, this is a title not to be missed. Mirror's Edge. Released in 2008, EA's Mirror's Edge has managed to endure thanks to its unique art style and gameplay. It follows the story of Faith Connors, who uses parkour to get around a city filled with skyscrapers.
You're taking your sweet old time, so let's get pissed. She's almost at the comms tower and you ain't.
The first-person perspective makes the action more engaging, and it has the player's adrenaline spiking as they jump between roofs and slide across zip lines. It holds up well to this day, and modern gamers won't even notice they're playing a game that's well over a decade old.
They're trying to cut you off the head space. Get through them, quick. You gotta push through to the plaza space. There's a route through the tunnels ahead.
Deathloop. Deathloop is a mind-bending first-person shooter that plays with the notion of time by having the protagonist, Colt Vaughn, continuously relive the same day. To break the loop, he has to kill 8 targets known as the Visionaries before midnight. It's no easy task, and he has Juliana on his tail, and she wants to preserve the loop. Deathloop is a unique title with some interesting concepts and gameplay mechanics thrown in, perfect for anyone looking for a novel gaming experience. Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is mostly known for its multiplayer mode, but its single-player campaign is also a blast to play through. It's hard not to fall in love with the fast-paced movement, exquisite shooting mechanics, and engaging story. Even if you never touch the multiplayer mode, playing Titanfall 2 is worth it for the single-player campaign alone. Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. Wolfenstein: The Old Blood serves as the prequel to 2014's Wolfenstein: The New Order, and it follows war veteran William B.J. Blazkowicz and his attempts to find a hidden Nazi compound. Like other entries in the franchise, there are plenty of shootouts and intense moments. Sly players can also use melee attacks to eliminate opponents without alerting other enemies. The game launched in 2015, and it's still a must-play title in 2024. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is one of the most interesting entries in the franchise. It takes inspiration from 1980s movies such as Terminator and The Wraith to provide an action-packed experience. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon was both a commercial and critical success for the developer, and the game is worth playing just to see what all the hype was about. For players looking for a game with a distinct futuristic aesthetic, Blood Dragon is not to be missed. Stalker Clear Sky. Stalker Clear Sky is part of the Stalker franchise, and it has players taking control of a mercenary named Scar. Its first-person perspective, mixed with its survival horror elements, provides an eerie, hair-raising experience that'll be a treat to any fans of the genre. Black Mesa.
You're right. Gordon, we have complete confidence in you.
Well, go ahead. Let's let him in now.
Black Mesa is a fan-made recreation of Half-Life that has found itself an ardent fanbase. The plot stars Gordon Freeman, who's working at the Black Mesa research facility. It was released in 2020, and it currently sits with a Metacritic score of 86, making it one of the best ways to play Half-Life. Dishonored. Dishonored is developed by Arcane Studios, the same team that brought you Deathloop, and it stars Corvo Attano. You can attack enemies head-on, or you can rely on stealth to silently eliminate foes, giving you options when it comes to how you overcome challenges.
Lord us all, look at what he's done.
Yes, he's killed the Empress.
It was well received by critics and players alike upon release, and though it is over a decade old, it still has plenty of fun to offer modern gamers. Reaching for Petals. Reaching for Petals is the perfect game for players who are more interested in an emotional tale than lots of action. It's a slow-paced first-person experience that touches on topics such as loss and love. Most of the game has you hiking up a mountain, exposing you to exquisite scenery along the way. Reaching for Petals is an experimental project that won't connect with everyone, but nevertheless, it illustrates the impressive storytelling abilities video games have. Before Your Eyes. Before Your Eyes is another narrative-heavy title that won't have trouble arousing all sorts of emotions. The game is best played with a webcam or via VR, as eye-tracking technology is used to progress the story. However, a mouse can be used instead. The story centers on Benny, who's being ferried to the gatekeeper for judgment, and as he travels, he recounts memories of his life to the ferryman. There are plenty of twists to keep you guessing, and an eye-watering ending that makes the entire journey worth it. The Witness. Released in 2016, The Witness is the perfect title for fans of puzzle games. It takes place on an open-world island filled with challenging puzzles to be solved. The Witness doesn't explain much, and it's up to you to pay attention to the environmental storytelling and visual cues to make sense of the puzzles. It's a tricky game that's unforgiving at times, but it's all wrapped up in a beautiful package that encourages you to keep trying. Outlast. For fans of the horror genre, Outlast is not to be missed. You're left without any way to fight against enemies, forcing you to rely on stealth tactics to progress. The game is good at making you feel helpless, and it excels when it comes to its horror elements. The sequel, Outlast 2, is equally as terrifying. Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds blends exploration, puzzle solving, and environmental storytelling in an unforgettable manner. It's one of those games that it's best to jump into blindly, as it packs a whole lot of surprises that must be experienced to be fully appreciated. Subnautica. With its addictive gameplay and beautiful scenery, Subnautica is a one-of-a-kind title developed by Unknown Worlds Entertainment. You take control of Riley Robinson and eventually find a way off the planet. With over 6 million copies sold, Subnautica has proven itself among gamers, and it's worth a try for anyone looking for a unique adventure.
So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.